What's going on, guys, and welcome back. As you can see, we are on the snow. We have my new sled behind me, and we are going to be riding today. So again, this is a 2022 Polaris XER Matryx 850 136. So I haven't put any time on it. If you guys have been here for a while, you guys know that I always do a bunch of suspension stuff before I even ride it. Well, this year is actually different. So this sled is 110% stock suspension-wise. I put CNAs on it, but aside from that, it's 100% stock. So Bruce and I decided that we wanted to try the sled just as it is before we even start changing anything. So I can relay to you guys, how this sled feels and what does what and everything like that. So today we're going to be going out, we're going to be putting some miles on, and I'm going to be videoing, and then either at the end of it or kind of in the middle of it, I'll be giving you an overview of what I have. So suspension wise, it's set up. I have, and you guys know we love the heavy duty torsion springs. For anyone that's even remotely close to 200 pounds, 180, 190, 170, we still say heavy duty because the stock ones are that soft. So this sled has factory, the soft or regular torsion springs. My clickers are set. Low speed is all the way out. High speed is 3 clicks in. So that's where I'm going to start, and we're going to go from there. The torsion springs are set on medium on both sides. So that's it. We're going to go from there, and we're going to put some miles on this thing. So hopefully we get some good intel for you guys, and you guys enjoy it. So check it out. All right, guys, so we are at our first stop. We stopped at the milk plant, get some lunch. What is it, like 15 miles here? Oh, yeah, and we have Joey and Brandon with us. Why isn't Joey talking?
He's camera shy.
What's wrong, Joe? What is it, 15 miles? Seriously?
Something like that.
Okay. So 15 miles. What the biggest thing that I noticed is the center shock for me was super soft. I was blown right through that. There was a lot of square edges and like G outs. So it's frozen wall. So you're hitting that and it was just blown right through it. You can feel it in your feet. And again, if you guys watched a video earlier on where me and Bruce were actually the XER suspension video, said if you feel it in your feet, that's your center shock. So that's what I am feeling when you're entering the bump. So fronts feel good, rears feel pretty good, or the one rear. Springs definitely feel soft. I'm gonna end up flipping them to the high setting now, so we'll see what it's like when we leave here. Brandon, how you doing?
Got a close up of the bird poop all over my sled.
Yeah, because you don't clean it.
What do you mean? I picked it up from the shop and it wasn't clean. It was clean when I bought it.
Shops don't clean sleds.
And put oil in them.
And put oil in them. And Brandon also learned a very valuable lesson that snowmobiling doesn't run on friendship.
It's supposed to run on thank yous.
What's wrong, Brandon?
Trails are shit. I'm hungry again.
Trails are great.
I probably hit 45 boulders in the last 4 miles of trail.
Yeah, that's for sure. Some negativity, you just gotta keep it on.
I'm starting to get this thing dialed in a little bit. I'm all the way stiff in the center shock. 4 or 5 clicks in on high speed and low speed in the rear shock. I am 3 clicks in on top of what I started with in the front, and it's starting to feel better. I haven't hit. I mean, I'm still blowing through that center shock, but as a whole, it's getting better and better. So we're dialing it in little by little. We're just stopped at Cedar Pines. Let Brandon cool off.
Thank you.
Eat more food. But all in all, it pulls really, really good. I'm actually over revving. I'm pulling like 8,400. So I'm gonna have to put weight in this thing and tame it down. All right, guys, so we are back at the house now, and we ended up, it's actually a day later, so I've done 200 miles so far in the sled, and I've messed with, a bunch of stuff, and I've gone back and forth, and the general consensus is, and like I said, earlier in the video, that front track shock or center shock, whatever one you want to call it, for me is just way too soft. I don't even think a stiffer spring will suffice for that. I think it's going to need some valving help. But we'll get into that in a little bit. The fronts, I think, are pretty good. I messed with the clickers a bunch. Like I said, I ran them in. And I was actually on a really bumpy trail, and I felt like it was just too violent in the handlebars, so I actually backed them out, and they felt better. Obviously, they're going to be softer that way, but I felt like once I went in on the clicks, it got too stiff too quick, if that makes sense. So that's something else that me and Bruce are going to kind of work on and see if we could get it to valve where it doesn't get so harsh so fast. But I really think, and again, those clicks I'm all the way back out on them now. So like I'm not even turned in, not even 1 or 2. And I like it. I hit some nasty stuff with it, and it worked pretty good. And again, they have 100-pound springs on the XCR, so it's gonna hold it up a little bit better. So you're not 100% relying on valving. But either way, I think they're pretty good. Rear shock seems pretty good. I can't get a good read on it because I think the torsion springs are just too soft. And next video, I'm going to be taking this apart, putting heavy duty springs in it, and then I'm going to be talking about that and how much better, how much more I like it, how much better it feels. So I think that rear shock is going to be okay the way it is. I don't 100% know that is shit. The torsion springs to me were just too soft. There was a lot of weight transfer to the back, a lot of ski lift, which is fun to an extent, but if you're trying to rail a corner and you're trying to get in the power going through a corner and that thing just kind of squats back and lifts the skis, well, you're not going to be turning anywhere. So all in all, it's really good. Motor wise, I think it's great. I mentioned before that it was pulling, some serious RPM. So we're going to see where that kind of correlates to. I adjusted the belt because I was losing some and I got that back. So we'll have to see kind of where that RPM sits, as we, it goes through more and more and more break-in, but it feels really strong. Clutching, again, it's all stock clutching. That everything feels good. I can't, 100% say that it's not good. So all in all, I think the sled is really good. I don't think it's great, not yet, or it's not perfect, but it's a really good baseline for for anyone that, you know, wants to go out and ride hard. Just needs, you know, some tweaks. And again, I'm super picky with my suspension and how my sled feels. So, you know, you may get on this thing and be like, wow, this is incredible. But I, as you guys know, like a little bit, you know, more fine tuned and want it to feel a certain way. But first 200 miles are in. It's awesome. I'm going to go tear this thing apart in the garage and put some heavy duty torsion springs in it in the rear and see how much better it makes it. But that's going to do it for this video, guys. Make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one.